Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a fascinating and somewhat alarming topic, the impact of AI on our critical thinking skills. It's no secret that AI is rapidly changing the world around us, from self-driving cars to algorithms that seem to know us better than we know ourselves. But amidst all this technological advancement, there's a growing concern about its potential downsides. Studies are showing that over-reliance on AI might be making us less analytical, less creative, and even less ethical. Let's delve into the research, examine the potential pitfalls of unchecked AI reliance, and most importantly, see how we can use AI wisely without sacrificing our own critical thinking skills. Now, you might be thinking, what's wrong with a little convenience? And honestly, on the surface, not much. It's fantastic that we can get quick answers, automate tedious tasks, and access a world of information with a few taps on our phones. But here's the thing about convenience, it can be incredibly seductive. Imagine this, you're working on a research paper and you need to find information about a specific historical event. In the past, you might have spent hours in the library sifting through books, comparing sources, and piecing together the story yourself. But now, with AI-powered search engines and research assistants, you can get a seemingly comprehensive overview in seconds. It's tempting, right? And that's where the cognitive laziness can creep in. Why spend hours researching when an AI can do it in seconds? The problem is, when we outsource our thinking to AI, we miss out on the opportunity to engage with information deeply, analyze different perspectives, and form our own conclusions. This isn't just about historical research, it applies to everything from problem-solving to decision-making. When we become overly reliant on AI to do the heavy lifting for us, we risk becoming passive consumers of information rather than active thinkers. Studies have already shown that people are more likely to accept AI-generated responses without questioning them, even when those responses are demonstrably wrong. So while AI can be a powerful tool, it's crucial that we use it mindfully and avoid falling into the trap of cognitive laziness. Okay, so we've talked about cognitive laziness, but the impact of over-relying on AI goes beyond that. It can actually hinder our ability to solve problems effectively. Think back to a time when you faced a challenging problem. Maybe it was a complex math equation, a tricky interpersonal conflict, or even just figuring out how to assemble a piece of furniture without looking at the instructions. We've all been there. Remember the feeling of satisfaction when you finally cracked the code? That feeling comes from the process of wrestling with the problem, breaking it down into smaller parts and using your knowledge and experience to find a solution. It's in those moments of struggle that our problem-solving muscles are built. But here's the thing about AI, it's really good at solving problems. In fact, it's often better and faster than humans at finding solutions, especially for complex or data-heavy challenges. And while that's undeniably useful in many contexts, it also presents a potential problem. If we become too reliant on AI to solve our problems for us, we risk losing the ability to do it ourselves. It's like relying on a calculator for every math problem. Eventually you forget how to do even basic calculations in your head. This isn't to say that we should abandon calculators or AI-powered problem-solving tools altogether. They have their place. But we need to strike a balance. Think of it like this. AI can be an incredible coach, but we shouldn't let it play the game for us. Remember the days before smartphones when you actually had to memorize phone numbers, or the time before GPS, when you had to rely on maps and your own sense of direction to navigate? These might seem like trivial examples, but they illustrate an important point. Our brains are constantly adapting to the tools we use. And when it comes to AI, one of the most significant adaptations is the way we store and retrieve information. With the vast knowledge of the internet at our fingertips, we no longer need to commit as much information to memory. Need to know the capital of a country? Google it. Can't remember the name of that actor in that movie? IMDb is your friend. Now, on the surface, this might seem like a good thing. Who needs to clutter their brains with trivia when you can access it instantly online? But here's the catch. The act of memorizing and recalling information is actually crucial for cognitive function. It strengthens neural connections, improves memory retention, and enhances our overall ability to learn and process information. When we outsource our memory to AI, we risk weakening these cognitive muscles. It's like relying on a crutch to walk. Eventually, your leg muscles weaken from lack of use. This isn't to say that we should abandon Google or other information retrieval tools. They can be incredibly useful. One way to do this is to consciously try to recall information ourselves before resorting to Google. Now, let's delve into a more complex and arguably more concerning aspect of AI's impact on critical thinking: the potential for ethical and moral blind spots. One of the fundamental differences between humans and AI is that AI lacks human values, emotions, and the capacity for moral reasoning. Think about it. AI algorithms are trained on massive datasets, and they learn to make decisions based on patterns and correlations within that data. But data itself is inherently neutral. It's simply a collection of information. It's the humans who create, interpret, and use that data who imbue it with meaning and values. This means that AI systems at their core are amoral. They don't inherently understand concepts like fairness, justice, empathy, or the nuances of human values. And this can be problematic when we rely on AI to make decisions that have ethical implications. For example, imagine using an AI system to assist with hiring decisions. The AI might be very good at identifying candidates with the right skills and experience, but it might not be equipped to consider factors like diversity, inclusion, or the potential for unconscious bias in its recommendations. Similarly, AI systems used in criminal justice, healthcare, or financial lending could perpetuate existing inequalities or make decisions that have unintended ethical consequences if not carefully designed and monitored. There are already real-world examples of AI systems exhibiting bias or making decisions that raise ethical concerns. So what can we do about it? Well, the first step is awareness. Now, let's talk about something that's often seen as uniquely human creativity. When we think of creativity, we often think of groundbreaking art, innovative inventions, or revolutionary ideas that challenge the status quo. And while AI can certainly generate content, mimic artistic styles, and even come up with novel solutions, there's a debate about whether it can truly be creative in the same way that humans are. Here's the thing: AI creativity is often based on patterns and associations found in existing data. It's like a master chef who can perfectly replicate any dish, but might struggle to invent a completely new culinary masterpiece. AI can analyze thousands of paintings, for example, and then generate an image that adheres to the stylistic conventions of those paintings. But can it truly capture the emotional depth, the unique perspective, the spark of inspiration that drives human creativity? That's where things get a little more complex. Some argue that AI can indeed be creative, pointing to examples of AI-generated art, music, and literature that exhibit originality and even emotional resonance. Others contend that AI is simply mimicking or remixing existing creative works, lacking the genuine spark of human imagination. Regardless of where you stand on that debate, there's a related concern about AI's potential to stifle human creativity. So we've covered a lot of ground today, from cognitive laziness to ethical concerns to the potential impact on creativity. It's clear that AI, while incredibly useful, presents us with a unique set of challenges. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. But I want to emphasize that the future of AI and critical thinking isn't a zero-sum game. We don't have to choose between technological advancement and our own cognitive abilities. We need to be mindful of the potential pitfalls of over-reliance on AI and proactively cultivate our critical thinking skills. That means asking questions, challenging assumptions, seeking out diverse perspectives, and engaging in deep, meaningful thought. Question AI outputs, cross-check information, and use AI as a collaborator rather than a decision maker. The most important thing is to remember that we are still in control.